Hey everyone, this is D&D Lounge with another episode of How to Use D&D Spells, a series where I cover spells from the 5th edition of Dungeons & Dragons. I look at some of the spell's most common uses, answer a few rules questions, and give my opinion on how good a spell is and who it's for. Today I'm covering Detect Magic, the invaluable spell that allows players to quickly scan a space for the presence of magic. Here's the spell's description and the classes who can cast it. While active, Detect Magic allows the caster to sense magic within 30 feet. Once detected, the caster can use an action to see an aura around the creature or object affected by magic, and also learn what the school of magic is. Detect Magic can't sense magic that's blocked by certain materials. The spell lasts for up to 10 minutes, requires concentration, and can be cast as a ritual. So how can players use Detect Magic to help them with their adventures? Well, the first and most common use is finding magical loot. It's what comes to most players' minds when they first read Detect Magic. When you're digging through a hoard of treasure, there's only so much you can bring back with you. Knowing which items are magical can help you make smart choices about what to throw in your backpack. Other times, magic items serve as key objectives of a quest. The ability to detect these items at a range of 30 feet makes that job much easier. Another common use of Detect Magic is for identifying illusions and magical traps. Savvy magical enemies are fond of setting up illusions and magical traps to thwart adventurers who enter their lairs. And bad guys trying to keep a low profile might also magically seal or obscure their hideout. Detect Magic can be a good first step toward overcoming these obstacles. Use number 3 of the spell is detecting a magically influenced NPC. Players in campaigns that are heavy on mental manipulation or intrigue will find that Detect Magic's ability to snuff out magically affected creatures is extremely useful. Learning that a key character is under an enchantment or that the enemies you're facing are being controlled to act against their will can help make huge strides in untangling the plot. This might also come in handy if one of your party members becomes afflicted by an unknown malady and you want to determine whether magic is involved. Another way to use Detect Magic is for gaining a shopping advantage. This is a niche use of the spell, but it might come in handy if you ever find yourself in a shop of oddities, a museum, a library, wherever lots of miscellaneous objects can be found together. Detect Magic can help you cut through the mundane trinkets and see what possibly good stuff is hiding in plain sight. Plus, if the shopkeeper, curator, or whoever doesn't know what they have, you might get a bargain deal on a powerful artifact. And my last tip for Detect Magic is to cast it as a ritual. Many situations that call for Detect Magic aren't time sensitive. It's usually something you do as you investigate an area that's already cleared of danger. So as long as you have 10 minutes to spare, you might as well cast Detect Magic as a ritual and save yourself a first level spell slot. Note that ritual casting is limited to certain classes or players who pick up the ritual caster feat. I'm sure you can think of more uses for Detect Magic, and I'd love to hear them in the comments below. But for now, let's turn to a few common questions about the spell's rules. Question number 1, does Detect Magic reveal magical properties or curses? The answer is no, it just reveals that the item is magical. In other words, you'll still need the Identify spell to learn the item's properties. And figuring out that an item is cursed is just an experience that a player has to suffer through, really. Question number 2 is, does Detect Magic sense traces of past magic? The answer is no, it detects the presence of active magic only. Instantaneous spells don't leave behind any sort of trace that Detect Magic can reveal. Likewise, a magical creature can't be detected with Detect Magic, but a creature conjured by a spell can be. Question number 3, can Detect Magic sense a spellcaster? The answer is no, Detect Magic senses the effect, not the source. In other words, it can detect that a spell is being concentrated on, but not the creature who's concentrating on it. And question number 4, can you reveal invisible creatures with Detect Magic? The answer is no, however, you can detect the presence of magic within range, for example from the invisibility spell. You just won't be able to locate the source because the aura revealing part of the spell only works on a visible creature or object. Now for the ultimate question. Is Detect Magic a good spell? Is it worth your first level spell slot? The answer is yes, Detect Magic is a good spell that should always be prepared by at least one member of your party. The ability to sense the presence of magic for an extended period is incredibly valuable for saving time and energy when solving puzzles, locating magical loot or MacGuffins, and noticing important plot points. As a final point, you generally only need one caster with Detect Magic in your group, so be sure to talk to your party before picking it up. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you found this guide on Detect Magic helpful. If you have any stories about using Detect Magic in your own Dungeons & Dragons game, please share them in the comments below. This is D&D Lounge wishing you the best of luck in your next spellcasting venture.